right now, as you watch this, your baby is communicating with you. Not with words, not with a text message, not with any signal you were ever taught to read in school, but with every tiny sound they make, every restless movement of their hands, every shift in their breathing, every single time their eyes search the room until they find your face. Your baby is talking to you, constantly, urgently, hopefully. And here is what the science now confirms. How you respond to that silent language in the first year of life doesn't just make your baby feel loved in the moment. It physically builds their brain. It wires their nervous system from the inside out. It lays the foundation for how they will handle stress, form friendships, love other people, and believe in their own worth for the rest of their life. Today, we are covering 6 things your baby is silently hoping you will give them every single day. Not a toy, not a gadget, not a perfectly organized sleep schedule. Something that costs nothing and matters more than almost any parenting decision you will ever make. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to see your baby and your role in a completely different light. And I promise you, that shift is going to mean everything. Touch. Let's start with something so simple it almost feels too obvious to say out loud. Not just when they cry, not just during feeding, as much as you possibly can. Because here is what happens inside your baby's body the moment you press their tiny frame against your chest, and they feel the warmth of your skin. Their brain releases a surge of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Their cortisol levels, the stress hormone, begin to fall. Their heart rate slows. Their breathing steadies. And those little fists, so often clenched tight from the overwhelming newness of being alive, begin to open. In that one moment of contact, your baby's entire nervous system exhales. But here is what most parents don't know. This isn't just comfort. This is construction. Researchers at the University of California studied premature babies in the NICU and found that those held and gently massaged for just 15 minutes a day gained weight 47% faster than babies who weren't touched. They were discharged from the hospital nearly a week earlier, not because of any medication, simply because of human hands. Now think about what that means for your full-term baby at home. Every time you pick them up when they cry, every time you carry them close during the day, every time you rest your hand gently on their back, you are not spoiling them. You are building them, brick by invisible brick. You are constructing a nervous system that knows, at the deepest level, that the world is safe. If you can do one thing differently starting tonight, wear your baby more. A simple carrier during your morning routine gives your baby consistent physical contact while freeing your hands. 20 minutes of that closeness does more for your baby's stress regulation than any developmental toy on the market. Drop it in the comments right now. Do you baby wear? I want to know how many of you are already doing this. I read every single one. Eye contact. Your newborn arrived in this world with almost no visual ability at all. They can't see the ceiling. They can't see across the room. They can't even clearly see the mobile above their crib. But there is one thing they can see perfectly: a human face, at exactly 8 to 12 inches away, which is precisely, not coincidentally, precisely the distance between your eyes and theirs when you hold them in your arms. Evolution left you a message written in biology, and the message is, look at your baby. Because when you gaze into your baby's eyes, and they gaze back, something completely measurable and almost miraculous happens. Neuroscientists at Cambridge University discovered that during genuine eye contact between a parent and baby, their brainwaves literally synchronize. They fall into the same rhythm, like two instruments finding the same note, without a single word spoken. In that quiet, locked gaze, your baby learns something no flashcard and no enrichment program can ever teach them. I exist. I am seen. "I matter." Babies who experience frequent, warm eye contact with their caregivers go on to develop stronger language skills, deeper empathy, and more secure attachment patterns. Not because of any program or curriculum, simply because someone looked at them consistently, warmly, with love. So put your phone face down during feeding. Let those 10 to 20 minutes be entirely about your baby's face and yours. That is all. That is everything. Researchers at Stanford University found that your baby began recognizing your voice at 28 weeks of pregnancy. Before they ever took a breath, before they ever opened their eyes, your voice was already home to them. By the time your baby is born, it is the most familiar sound in their entire universe. Not just pleasant, safety itself. And yet so many parents go quiet around their babies. They feel silly talking out loud to someone who can't respond. They second-guess every word. Here's what the science says. Your baby doesn't need perfect words. They don't need a curated vocabulary list or an educational audio program. They need your real voice, your laugh, your tired, imperfect, beautiful narration of the most ordinary moments. Okay, we're gonna change your diaper now. I know, you don't love this part. Almost done. There we go. All clean. Look at you. That right there is one of the most powerful things you can do for your baby's developing brain. Dr. Dana Suskind at the University of Chicago documented the 30 million word gap. The finding that by age 3, children in verbally rich environments had heard 30 million more words than children who weren't spoken to as frequently. And that gap predicted reading ability, emotional regulation, and academic achievement years later. Not the preschool, not the flashcards, the voice. The real, everyday voice of a parent who talked to their baby like they were already someone worth talking to. Because they are. And they have always been listening. Narrate one routine today. Diaper change, bath time, the drive to the grocery store. It will feel strange for about 30 seconds. Then it will feel like the most natural thing you've ever done. Tell me in the comments, what do you talk to your baby about? I want to hear the real answers, the mundane ones, the beautiful ones. Drop them below, responding to their cries. It is 3 a.m. You have been awake since 1. You have fed them, changed them, checked for a fever, rocked them, tried the pacifier twice, and they are still crying. And somewhere in that exhausted fog, a voice whispers, "Am I doing something wrong? Is something wrong with them? Will this ever end?" I want to speak directly to that moment, because what happens in it matters more than almost any parenting decision you will make when you are well-rested and thinking clearly. When your baby cries, and you come, you are teaching them the single most important thing a human being can ever learn. When I am in pain, help will come. Read that again slowly. When I am in pain, help will come. Think about how many adults walk through the world carrying the opposite belief, that their struggles are too much, that they have to manage everything alone, that showing the parts of them that hurt is a burden. So many of those beliefs were formed silently in the first year of life, in the tiny repeated moments where a cry was either answered or wasn't. Dr. John Bowlby, the father of attachment theory, found that a baby's sense of security, their future ability to trust, to ask for help without shame, to be resilient in the face of real hardship, all traces back to one thing: consistent, loving responsiveness to distress. And here is what I need you to hear, especially on the hard nights. You do not have to be perfect. Research shows that meeting your baby's needs, even 50% of the time, with genuine warmth and intention, is enough to build secure attachment. You don't have to be superhuman. You just have to keep showing up, even imperfectly, even when you're not sure what they need, even when you can't fix it. The act of coming is the message. On the hardest nights, when you've tried everything and nothing is working, just hold them. Don't chase the fix. Your calm, steady presence is doing more than you know. Your regulated nervous system actually helps regulate theirs. When is the last time you made a completely ridiculous face at your baby just to watch them light up? When is the last time you blew a raspberry on their belly and heard that full-body laugh, the one so pure and unfiltered it almost stops your heart? And then chase that laugh again and again, because nothing in the world sounds better. That is not just a sweet moment. That is neuroscience in action. Dr. Jacques Panksepp, one of the world's foremost researchers on the emotional brain, identified play as one of 7 core emotional systems hardwired into all mammals. When babies play, dopamine floods the brain. Neural pathways form and strengthen at extraordinary speed. Creativity, language, empathy, and emotional regulation all grow in the soil of genuine, joyful, face-to-face play. And your baby doesn't need rotating light projectors or high-stimulation activity kits. They need you. Your willingness to be a little ridiculous. Your ability to put down the weight of your day and be fully present in that shared moment of laughter for 5 minutes. Those moments are being stored somewhere deep inside your baby. Not as memories they will consciously recall, but as a felt sense of the world written into their body. Life is good. People are safe. I am allowed to feel joy. That felt sense will quietly shape every friendship they make, every relationship they choose, and every moment of happiness they allow themselves to have for decades to come. Schedule 5 minutes of pure, undistracted, face-to-face play today. No multitasking, phone down, just you and your baby being ridiculous together. It is the highest return 5 minutes of your parenting day. Consistency. Not perfection, not endless energy, not having the right words at every hard moment. Just consistency. Just showing up again. From the very first days of life, your baby's brain is doing one thing above all else. It is looking for patterns. It is asking the most urgent question it will ever ask. Can I count on the people who love me? And every time you show up, not flawlessly, but reliably, you write the answer more deeply into who your child is becoming. Every time you come back after being away, every time you repair after a hard moment, every time you say, "I'm sorry, that was too much, and I love you," you teach your child what love actually looks like in the real world. Not a performance, not a highlight reel, just someone who keeps choosing you, even on the hardest days. Research published in the journal Child Development found that children with consistently present caregivers in their earliest years grew into adults who were measurably more emotionally resilient, better equipped to manage stress, more likely to form healthy relationships, and even physically healthier across their lifetimes. The effects of early consistent love don't fade. They ripple outward through decades, through generations. You don't have to be the parent who never loses their temper. You just have to be the parent who comes back, who repairs, who keeps choosing their child even on the days when it's complicated and hard and you're not sure you have anything left to give. That is the deepest act of love. That is the one your baby is waiting for, more than anything else. Here's my question for you, and I genuinely want to know, which one of these 6 acts felt most personal to you today? Which one did you need to hear? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and I mean that. 6 acts, 6 things your baby is hoping for every single day. Touch, hold them as much as you can. You cannot spoil a baby with physical closeness. Eye contact, look at them, really look, and let them see the joy in your face when you do. Your voice, talk to them through the ordinary moments. They have been listening longer than you know. Answer the cry. Your response to their distress is building a belief they will carry for life. Play. Be ridiculous. Be present. Be fully there for 5 minutes of pure joy every day. And show up again, not perfectly, but consistently. That is the whole thing. None of this costs money. None of it requires a certification or the right equipment. All of it requires only what you already have: your presence, your attention, and your willingness to see the tiny person in front of you for exactly what they are. A full human being, already fully feeling, already reaching toward you with everything they have. There will be hard days. There will be days when you feel like you're not doing enough. On those days, come back to this. You are doing more than you know. If this video gave you something real, share it with a parent in your life who needs to hear it today. And if you want more science-backed content on baby development, early brain wiring, and the deep psychology of what babies actually need, subscribe and hit the bell. We go deep on this every single week. The next video is about something most parents have never heard of: the specific window between 6 and 18 months when your baby's brain is building its attachment blueprint. Catch that window, and everything changes. That one is coming next.